Okay, the last question talks about what are goals as a teacher you should set for your students and what are some goals you should set for yourself. First, I'm going to talk about some goals that are important to set for students. I think it's really important to set high expectations for your students. You want them to take responsibility for their learning. If you set high expectations, then kids, they want to please you. So they're going to, do what they can to meet those expectations. So setting expectations, they need to be achievable for the students. You don't want to set expectations that are too high, and then they get frustrated and want to give up. You want to set expectations that they can easily attain, but that will improve upon a skill that they are struggling with. So, for example, if students are reading a certain number of words per minute, you may want to tell students, okay, next time I want you to read 50 words per minute, or whatever the case may be. So setting those goals with students. And what I like to do, I like to talk with students and see what where they think they are struggling with, what areas they want to improve upon, and I talk to them where I want to see them improve in. So just having that discussion with that student individually, and having a plan of how you are going to meet that goal with that student, I think is really important, because then students are going to take responsibility for their learning, and they're going to work really hard to achieve that goal. So talking with students and creating like a goal that they can reach, I think it's really important in setting those high expectations. So that's what I would do as a teacher, and what I do as a teacher. I set those expectations with my students, and tell students that, they are capable of achieving and being successful, because all students are, and making students believe that, and that's your job as a teacher. And if they believe it and you encourage them to have those high expectations, and they will strive to meet that, and they will be successful. As for you as a teacher, especially going into your first year, this is what I would say. Your first year, you want everything to be perfect. You really strive for everything to be perfect, and you're going to feel very stressed out the first year. And what I would say is kind of give yourself a break a little bit, because there's a lot going on, especially your first year. It's an emotional roller coaster, and there's a lot you have to do. And you want to do your very best, and you want to be perfect. So just know that you're still learning your craft, and you're not always going to be successful at everything. So, if you're not successful one day, like maybe you taught a lesson and it didn't go so well, just know that, the next day is a brand new day. You could start all over again. And so what I would suggest as a new teacher is just having a journal and just writing down how your day went every day. Write down things that you thought went really well and kind of celebrate those, but also write down areas that you think you are struggling with or you have questions to, so that way you can reflect upon them and determine ways that you can improve upon that area. I think it's also really important as a new teacher to seek out mentorship. I know you'll probably receive one as a new teacher, a mentor, but also seeking out other teachers who are willing to help you and asking for help when you need it, because like I said, you're not going to know everything your first year. It's going to be overwhelming. So really gaining feedback from other teachers is really beneficial, or asking them, for materials or things that you need. So don't be afraid to ask for things that you need. when I went through my first year, I always had my mentor. I requested that she come in very often and just observe me and my teaching. So that way I can be given feedback of things that, I thought I could do better in and get her feedback on. So gaining that perspective, you can see areas that you need to improve in, and they can give you suggestions on how to do that. So I would suggest having people observe you. You're going to get observed a lot, so and also makes it easier if you get observed by someone you trust, because it just makes that aspect of your job a lot easier when you're doing it all the time. So being observed all the time, it makes it easier because your principal's going to pop in and observe you, and it's unannounced. So just getting used to that and having others observe you, I think is important, in gaining their feedback and listening to that and being proactive at their suggestions that they give you is really helpful. And then also, I think it's really important, you're going to have a lot of work to do. And as a teacher, it's very easy to go to work and then at the end of the school day and, grade papers and do all the work that you need to get done and work until 10 or 11 at night and still not get everything done that you need to get done. It's very easy to have school be your entire life. And I think it's really important to take time for yourself, because if not, then you're going to get burned out really easily. So what I would do is set a time limit of when you're going to be done with work for the day. And don't feel bad if you don't get everything done, because you're not going to get everything done. So, set a time limit and say, I'm going to be done by 4 o'clock today, and then I'm not going to work after that. And really adhering to that, it's really important that you take time to have for yourself, because otherwise you're going to get burned out. So, stopping at a reasonable time every day, making sure you're spending time with your family and friends, having that support system around you is really important. Making sure you're taking care of yourself and getting enough sleep is really important for you, especially your first year, because a lot is going to be going on, and it's really important to, have that support system, getting what you need so you don't feel burned out, and being, easy on yourself, because it's not going to be perfect. You're still learning. So, just being easy on yourself and, taking all that in, I think it will be really helpful for you to be successful, and it's going to make it a lot easier for you to get through the school year.